Hello, Purple Heart Consciousness holders. This is Reverend Jerry Hobby, and I am so excited to be with you this morning. We are into our new norm, and this year has been a year where we continue to evolve in a new norm. And I am sending this out to everyone, our Purple Heart Consciousness holders, our emissaries of light, our ambassadors of truth, and I am also sending this out on all of our social platforms. We are all in this together. So this morning is a traditional morning for us where we share a prayer and we all come together. There's a saying, the family that prays together stays together. And I'm going to say that you are all a part of my family and a part of the Spiritual Enlightenment and Truth Focused Ministry family. So this morning, we have our leadership team with us, and they are remotely speaking to you. And I'm just going to invite everyone to say hello. Team?
Good morning. This is Kathy.
Good morning.
Wonderful. They're all saying good morning, and we're just going to take one at a time because they have some spiritual wisdom they'd like to share with you. I'm going to start first with Kathy. Kathy, what is it that you would like to share with everyone this morning?
What I would like to share is that if you don't already have the Prayerful Heart app, please get it because it will brighten your day. It will help to illuminate those dark spaces, and you can get a personal prayer request in, and we will pray for you, and we will let you know that we will continue to pray for you on this subject for several days. I think it's a couple of weeks. Is it, Reverend Mary?
Yes, exactly. And if we need to extend it, we will.
Yes. And we are all in this together because we're all homebound too. So, it's a good way to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and get a little God wisdom coming your way.
I like that word, God wisdom.
So please download the Prayerful app from your app store, and then you can join us all the time.
Absolutely. We could have a daily conversation.
Yes, we could.
There anything else you want to share, Kathy?
I don't think so this morning. I just, other than a quote from Ernest Holmes, which I would like to share, and it's on joy. And it says, "Many waters cannot quench love, neither can floods drown it." That's from the Song of Solomon. And it's the first thing that Ernest Holmes says about it is we must have a firm conviction that all people live in God, and we must have a deep realization that we are all one in this universal spirit that is God.
Okay, wonderful.
And I think that says it all since we're all home.
Okay, wonderful. And what I'm hearing is that it is important for us as we go through this period. And I'm going to say that it is one of those I'm going to call joy. I just love that word. Joy, 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 joy. And I have used this over the course of the years in the secular world. When I was working with my students, I worked with my husband, and we did licensing for people building their confidence up to go out into the world and to work in sales, in real estate sales. And I remember I had a student, her name was Joy. And part of teaching, I want you guys to hear this, it's not just learning the knowledge. Part of teaching is building up the confidence of the individual, nurturing them and supporting them. And so right now, I am considered to be a spiritual teacher. But I learned from that experience, and it's an experience I continue to bring. I would say joy, 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 joy. Well, this student eventually began, she didn't have a lot of confidence in herself. But as a result of that, she grew and became more and more confident. Her tests reflected it. And we got to the point where she had 100%. And what I used to do is make these happy faces. You guys are going to want me to come out of retirement because you guys want me to make happy faces. But my happy faces were so cool. These happy faces had candy all over it also. I make the happy face and make the ears and the hair and the smile. There'd be so much. So they were carrying this paper, and if you can imagine it with candy paste taped all over it, it was a wonderful experience. So I'm sending this out to you today. This is to support you and uplift you. Thank you so much, Kathy. I do appreciate this. And now, our next person is Gracie. And Gracie, what is it that you have to share? Okay,
I would like to put a shout out in regards to the website, seatfm.org, Spiritual Enlightenment and Truth, FM.
Focus Ministry.
Focus Ministry. Focus, and it is for family ministry. Sorry. I want to share this website because I want everybody to go and take a look at it. There is a free book webinar by spiritual practitioner Larry Hobby.
Wow.
And it's just awesome. I am God in disguise. So are you. It's free. This one is free to everyone, and it's just amazing. It started last on the 15th, but it's out there to catch up. But this is better than the Oprah Book Club. This is much better.
And we had so much fun. Yes.
This is great. Great. So if you're sitting at home, please join us in this book club Wednesday evening, 6:30 p.m. or go back and watch some of the other ones, but just feel your life, expand your consciousness with this fabulous book study. So webinar. So that's what I just want to share. It's great.
Thank you, Gracie. And I tell you, it was wonderful last week. The author popped in. That was a kindly surprise, one of those kindly surprises of spirit. So we got a chance to hear from the author, and we had a very intimate conversation around the subject. And I think this book is the most appropriate book for this time we are in. Wow. Is there anything else you want to share with the group, Gracie?
Just I hope everyone has a great day, and I pray for some sunshine so we can all just have that warmth in our hearts.
Vitamin D. I call it our vitamin D. And if you're getting any sunshine today, I'm going to encourage you all to go outside. We may be in stay home mode, but it does not mean we have to be absent of our vitamin D. Vitamin D is crucial and important. If you have to go outside in your backyard, on your balcony, or just walk outside around your building for a moment, make sure you cover up. We're practicing safety right now, and we're being a safe place. This is the most important part for us to remember. The reason we're doing what we're doing, sometimes we can become spirits in rebellion. And in that process of being spirits in rebellion, the thing we forget is to practice and be responsible. And responsibility is a very important part. That's something that we're learning in our household. And when I say in our household, I'm saying in the household of my particular loved ones. I have not seen my grandkids in several months. I'm not going to say several months. It's been several weeks. But I connect, and I've come out to teach again. And part of my job is for my granddaughter to read to me on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. And instead of reading this particular week, we were playing a form of Jeopardy, and she got to learn one important word. And this is a word I think will impact her for the rest of her life, and that is responsibility. So here we are again with the unwritten. And so in this unwritten, what we get to remember is we get to write the script of our life. And the unwritten is also about stepping out of the box. And if anybody knows anything about me, Reverend Jerry, I am definitely a fan of stepping out of the box. I am part of, there is a book out there, it's a book called Spirits in Rebellion. And it talks about all of these people in New Thought, and these people who are in New Thought that have done things out of the box that have never ever been done before. However, I have learned too that there is this thing we call universal law. And in universal law, what we have learned is that we get to write the script of our lives, and we also get to work in the confines of universal law. In other words, we cannot escape God's law. That requires deep awareness. It requires deep understanding. And remembering, too, that the most important part of this whole process is remembering that we are divine instruments. We're spirit. We're God. We're love. We're joy imparts itself through us. This is part of our history. It is part of our process of overcoming and growing. So, what we get to remember is that when we work with law, all things are definitely possible. So I want to share a quote with you today, and this comes from Ernest Holmes. He says, "As man unfolds in his mentality, the law automatically reacts to him. The way to work is to begin right where we are, and through constantly applying ourselves to the truth, we gradually increase in wisdom and understanding, and for in this way alone will good results be obtained." So in this way along will good results be attained. He also says, as he thinks into the universal mind, he sets a law in motion, which is creative and which contains within itself a limitless possibilities. So the most important part is to use that innate wisdom within us. Part of that requires us to engage in spiritual practice. Part of that requires that we are thoughtful and mindful in terms of what we are doing. And of course, Gracie would agree with me that Oprah has set the tone for us with our book clubs and all of these wonderful things. But I love her wisdom when she says, "You are the author of your own life. Don't let others define it for you. Real power comes to you by doing what you are meant to be doing and doing it well." So what you are meant to be and doing it well requires that we practice with wisdom. And for me, we hear the words that we should proceed and do everything right now with caution, even in our social distancing. I say that caution also reminds us to practice common sense as we grow in our understanding, and I hear these words, in all thy getting, get thou understanding, that we continue to be a place of safety. For me, a place of safety represents listening in a low manner, that is, not thinking off the top of my head, but being still and allowing everything to unfold, where it creates a space of a world that works for everyone. It also includes being mindful in terms of the intention and the purpose. Our purpose right now is to grow and survive and thrive as a human species. That's exactly where we're at right now. So my commitment in this whole process is learning how to be a beneficial presence in the world. My commitment in this whole process is learning how to be a space of love and allowing the healing presence to expand itself, to uplift itself, and reveal itself in a sacred way. So I'm inviting you to join me on this journey. And part of joining me on this journey is to allow you to discover what is really important right now for you in your life. It may include your family. It may include just learning and moving beyond this, demonstrating unlimited good in your life. And what I'm saying is, if we're searching for good in our life, we've got to know that the good is at hand, and it is not an exclusive thing. This is the most important thing, and I believe humanity needs to understand that. So that includes everyone. Looking at a world that works for us all, knowing that we are all blessed, and that the universe will show up in that way. And if more of us practice from that place and we contribute it in a way that would benefit us all, I know that the world would be a greater place to live in. So with that in mind right now, I'm just going to invite you to join me as we move into this place of prayer. I'm just going to invite you to simply breathe this morning. And as we're breathing this morning, I just want you to allow your entire body, your mind, your spirit to all settle in. And we're settling into the heart space, the essence of life and true interdependence. The heart is independent. It has a spirit and a life of its own that is resilient. And whenever we accomplish anything, we know that it all begins right there in that place of the divine, the heart. And so in this very moment, right here, right now, I also am reminded that the heart is interdependent. In other words, it supports, it circulates, it's good, and it nurtures all of this thing we call our physical being. It is the energy and it is the vibration of love. And if we were to define the essence of God, the essence of spirit, we would come to the conclusion that it is the essence of love and law in action. It is the dance of life. It is that divine essence that creates, that is resilient, and continues to imbibe itself. And so in this very moment, right here, right now, I just acknowledge this wonderful presence and know that it is the essence of life expanding itself. It is the beauty of a rose. It is the beauty of the lotus blossom. It is the beauty of that divine light that is alive and present within me, within everyone that is participating in this prayer, and it is the truth for the entire universe. And so, in this very moment, right here, right now, I'm acknowledging it, knowing that everyone that is hearing this prayer and anyone we think of right now, that this is the moment. And in this very moment, we experience the unwritten. And I know that that unwritten is filled with light, hope, and infinite possibilities, wonderful good. And that good continues to express itself in a practical way within our lives. And what I know is each and every individual is empowered, and that everyone's action, I'm hearing these words now very clearly, all things work together for good, that in this embraced unity, that the universe has already gone before and created the path of good. And I know that in that path of good, the divine wisdom of the Spirit is alive and thriving. I'm acknowledging it right now for everyone, all of our essential workers. I'm acknowledging it right now within our doctors and the light that they bring. I'm acknowledging it for everyone, all of our wonderful celebrities sharing their heart and showing up in a positive and a healthy way. I'm acknowledging it in the average individual, because I know that the average is simply extraordinary, and that each and every single person that I come into contact with is extraordinary, and they have a gift, and that gift is a gift that continues to give. And so what I know is the healing presence is right where they are. I'm acknowledging it, and know that it is right where our scientists, our researchers, and all of those people that are collaborating, knowing that there is something even greater in this pandemic experience, and that infinite good has already fulfilled itself and it's revealing itself. So in this space of love, and in this space of joy, in this space of peace, and this space of harmony, I know that the good, the will of the divine is alive and thriving, moving and expanding itself and enriching itself. So in this space right now, I simply give thanks for the wisdom of Spirit. I'm releasing these words right now in the space of love and in this space of joy. And I affirm, and I'm inviting my whole team to affirm with me by saying, and so it is.
And so it is. So it is.
Amen. Yes. So,
And Ashe.
Ashe, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want to thank my leadership team, and I want to acknowledge our wonderful elder in the community, our wonderful Patty. Patty, do you want to say something to the group?
Just good morning. Good morning. I hope I know everyone is well.
Thank you, Patty. And that's more than enough. Just hoping and knowing that we are all well. I'm so grateful. And the reason I'm inviting you to continue to practice and err on the side of safety and being a safe place is because of people like Patty. Patty, her system could be compromised. I don't know if you guys know it. A few weeks ago, she just turned 81 years old. And we are a little selfish here at Seed FM. And when I say we're selfish, is our team is committed to supporting everyone in surviving this and thriving. And it includes Patty because she has a wonderful gift for us all. And I'm speaking on behalf of all the Patties in the world. They may have different names, but I know that they are truly a blessing. So continue to practice that. And I'm also inviting you to also start to prepare your consciousness because our economy will definitely reopen things will shift and change. So pay attention to, we're all in this together. And Gracie gave you some wonderful advice. Go to our website because we have a lot of wonderful things coming up. But I want to invite you guys to start preparing to join our Prosperity 3 program. It is an 8-week program. You're going to become proficient in technology because we're going to train you in that. And you're also going to be preparing your consciousness. I was talking about working with the law, but you get to work with the law in a different way, using prosperity and understanding prosperity and all the laws of life. That is on our website also. So I love you. I appreciate you, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Namaste.
Namaste.